Back again. I was in here a little bit ago. Didn't even realize that my audio wasn't working. So shout out to the person who told me my audio wasn't working. It's been a little minute since I came up on the actual equipment and did something. So my bad. You know what I'm saying? Over here looking like a rookie up in here. You know what I mean? I ain't really been on the equipment like that in a minute, but lo and behold, we back at it. I just seen this video that the dude, big homie Cece, be seeing him on Cam Capone News. He's a bodyguard. I guess ex bodyguard at this point. I don't know. I don't think he still be bodyguarding. And salute to you, Kyra knows. Much love to you. And I seen it says I ain't got nobody in the chat. You came here and left a comment. So obviously there's at least one person. There goes the chat now. So it said so Gene Deal apparently has started like a lane for ex bodyguards to come out and say stuff. And the thing I don't get is that once you come out here and expose everybody's business, it's going to be hard for you to get work again. I can't see nobody hire you again. You come out here and tell all everybody's business. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, lo and behold, he got his own channel now. It's called. I mean, and shout out to him and whoever else is doing whatever they're doing. I guess if they're going this route, I guess they know what they're doing, and this is what they chose. You know what I mean? So shout out to him and whoever else is doing it. So lo and behold, like I said, big homie CC, his name is. He got his own channel now. I just seen a video on his channel that he did. He said he actually seen he was in a Chicago nightclub called Studio Paris, which is closed now. I tried to look it up and get a little bit of information about it. But he said the place was called Studio Paris in Chicago, nightclub. He said he was up in there with his cousin. He didn't say his cousin's name, but he said he was in there with his cousin, and his cousin pointed out to him a female who was like standing in there across the room from them. When his cousin came over, he said his cousin said to him that he's seen the devil, is what he said his cousin said. So he was like, "You seen the devil? What you talking about?" So his cousin pointed at the chick, or whatever. So big homie Cece says he goes over. He said he looks over there and seen the chick. And she has scales on her. This is what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Like to me, it looks like he actually believes what he's saying. So I'll say that much. Whether it's true or not, it seems like he believes what he's saying is definitely is what he saw. You know what I'm saying? But he said so. He went up to the object, and she had brownish, greenish scales on her, and she had a long tongue that was sticking out, and she had like sharp teeth. He said. Then he said he touched her arm, and he said the body felt cold, like the lady's arm felt cold, and she said her name was Jenna. He said it. He said she was a shapeshifter. She looked like this reptilian thing. Then she stood behind somebody, and then turned into like a regular white female. He said she was a short white girl. Now, I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but when I first came into YouTube years ago, this is the type of alley I was up. The Anunnaki, you know what I'm saying? The David Icke with the reptilians, all that kind of stuff, shape shifting, lizard people. I know it sounds crazy to some people. I know it sounds ridiculous. You probably thinking like this boy sound like a goddamn fool. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, and I do get it. But I believe stuff like this is possible. I believe stuff like this is definitely true. J MGTO said the shape shifts exist. I believe it. I definitely believe it. Carbonell said, "Oh yeah, I believe that. I believe that too." Because it's just simply to and I'll say there's definitely some people because I seen a psychic years ago about 12 years was it about 13 years ago. I seen this psychic 13, 14 years ago. And I tell you for a fact that there's people on this earth that have extra knowledge than regular average everyday people. For a fact. I seen this psychic lady. The way she reeled me in is when I called her because I was going through a lot of crazy some crazy stuff in my life. You know what I'm saying? Some like real crazy. I was all over the place. I was in the middle of all type of stuff. I ain't gonna get into all of it, but to the point where I felt like contacting a psychic. Like I told you before, I do believe there's a God, but I'm not religious. I don't involve God in my personal life, but I did contact a psychic. And when I called this psychic, the first thing she told me, she was like, "Your dad's grandmother didn't like your mom." So when she said that, that's something that a person knows that a person's gonna ask about it. You know what I'm saying? She knew I would go back and ask my mom about it. I never heard this. Like, why would somebody tell you this? So I told some of my mom because she told me that it's like, but she didn't tell me too much. She told me like minor, a little stuff. But she told me that so she could send me on my way to go confirm it, knowing I would come running back to her. So I went and talked to my mom. I was like, I was talking to this like this lady told me, and she was like, yeah, that's true. She didn't really care for me. So once my mom said that and confirmed that, of course, as anybody would, you'd be like, damn, I gotta go back over here and see what this lady's talking about. Taurus was good. So I went back over there to her, and one time turned to two, two to three. I seen her about 4 or 5 times. Mr. Sursa, what's your take on the Big Al conspiracy? I'm talking about something else right now, but yeah, much love to Big Al. I don't know much about the Big Al conspiracy. I know supposedly his brother had beef with somebody or was something to do with his brother, so they killed him. But I don't know about all that. So I went to this psychic. She ended up telling me a whole bunch of stuff that turned out to be true. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna get all into it, but it was enough for me to know for a fact that there's definitely people on this planet that have extra information who are have supernatural powers. Because there's no way to explain it. Stuff I've been through that I can't talk about, never would talk about. This lady knew about. You know what I'm saying? So that should tell you right there that as far as me, as far as my situation, I was convinced that this lady was 100% accurate. She even told me that because this chick was pregnant by me around this time. She either was about to have an abortion or she had an abortion. I think she was about to have an abortion. The psychic told me she was like, "You got a kid that," she was like, "You got a kid that has already chosen you to be his parent. It's coming. There's nothing you can do about it." And I'm sitting there like, first I'm like, yeah, she. 'Cause I was like amazed that she knew that because this girl was pregnant, like I said. But I'm sitting there like, she about to get an abortion. I got this thing under control. I ain't having, you know what I'm saying, I ain't having no more kids. Like, oh, I was like, yeah, I feel you and everything. I'm sitting there like, yeah, but in my mind, I'm like, she don't even know. The money's already paid. Like, what I'm saying, the abortion is. So that girl did have an abortion. But after that, a little bit after that, um, Mr. Sir said there were dragons, not dinosaurs. He's talking about the reptilians. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I know David Icke. I used to be real into David Icke. You know what I mean? Extensively when I first came to YouTube. He was one of the first people I encountered, David Icke, and I was all into the whole Queen Elizabeth stuff. I did a bunch of gematria about Queen Elizabeth. I was all on that, my first channel. I was on top of all the reptilian stuff, the reptilians and all the shape shifting. I was on all that. So the lady told me she was like a kid already chose you to be his parent. It's coming. There's nothing you can do. And like I said, this girl was pregnant, but she got an abortion. I knew she was already getting an abortion. So I'm sitting there like, yeah. Lo and behold, another chick ended up getting pregnant by me. It was a situation. I ain't gonna get all into it, but I just say, long story short, I damn sure didn't want another kid. I didn't plan on having another kid. But this girl ended up pregnant, had the kid, and lo and behold, I had another kid after that. And that's just one small thing. She told me other little minor stuff. She was like, the next girl you meet, he was like, her name starts with an A. And she was like, no, it ends with an A. And she was like, no, it starts with an A. Like she was making a mistake back, like whether her first name started or last name started with an A. So the next chick I met after that, first name started with an A. Then after her last name started with an A. So back to back, even though she was making mistakes with it, it still came true. I'm just telling you these little minor things that I can talk about. Cause like I said, other stuff a Joker can't talk about because I just can't. You know what I'm saying? And I damn sure won't. But what she ended up telling me, she was like, "You can't ever go to another psychic again." She told me. She's like, "You can't talk to nobody else." Um. Oh, she also told me I had a curse on me. Um. What else could I say that's like minor? Yeah, she said I had a curse. She said You knew who was trying to kill because I was getting shot at all the time. I had got shot. Probably, it was a couple years after this, before this, that I got shot. But I got shot at a couple around this time. I was getting shot at a couple times, and yeah, I was definitely. This is like a couple years after I've been shot, but I was still always around. You know what I'm saying? Getting shot at and all that type of stuff. And cars getting shot. It's just a whole bunch of just drama. She was like, "Yeah, I know who's trying to kill you. She seen the color." She said, "I ain't gonna say the color." She said that it'd be a little bit too weird, but you said all this stuff, and I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? She definitely knows what she's talking about. And I forgot. Oh yeah, she was like, you can don't talk to no other psychic. So long story short, this lady ended up leaving one day and disappeared. I went back to that place. I think I was trying to call her or something. I couldn't reach her, so I went to the little office she was working at, the little psychic place, and the lady was like, "Oh, she's not here," but she didn't clarify. It was just like I was like, "All right." That was it. She disappeared. She was gone. Her name was Jane. She was Syrian. And if you know, like I know Syrians, they are, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them people, a lot of people would say that Syrians have psychic abilities. And there's a lot of Syrians out here in this area in Pennsylvania, Allentown. Like one of the highest locations for Syrians in America out here. And Syrians are known to have psychic powers and stuff like that. But I said all that to say that I know for a fact that there's definitely people on earth that are more advanced than other people when it comes to wisdom and stuff like that. Are they from this reptilian type of thing? I don't know. Who knows? But when that lady bounced, and I never can get a hold of her. Like I tell you, it definitely left a void in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I wanted closure with certain stuff, but she kind of left me hanging. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, I be thinking like, damn, when I run into that lady again. Um, but it is what it is. She just disappeared, so I just left it at that. That was years ago. Yo, this dude, big homie CC, like I said, seeing this person, I don't think it's too far fetched. I believe is that it possibly could actually be true. Like I do believe that he believes it and what he's seen. I think it's true. It's possible, definitely for sure. You know what I'm saying? He was a bodyguard, and this is flag. This thing is flagged already, so I don't even know why I'm still going with it. But he was a bodyguard for famous people, so he was in all these places around all these people. So it's definitely possible that I think he seen this and in Chicago. He said too, and he said something about they caught Zach TV's killers. I don't know if y'all know about Zach TV. That was a long time ago, but I kind of forgot all about that case, and I don't know if that was like something that was talked about before or not already. Whether they caught people knew they caught his killers, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, they caught Zach TV's killers. But yeah, man, that's all I really want to say. What this dude was saying, I'm about to come talk about this Adrian Broner thing too on a different video, and also Deontay Wilder. But Taurus, he bought that up too. He said that too. He was like, that's probably what that lady was. He bought that video of that lady on the airplane saying she seen the reptilian. He said that too. Definitely bought that up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I believe this stuff, man. It might sound crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the kind of person I believe in a lot of different. I believe anything is possible. I believe anything is possible. Because at the end of the day, I don't believe that the world is run by people that are regular humans. We have to be being ran by some type of other beings or some other type of, you know what I'm saying? Because humans can't be this goddamn dumb. You said it's not crazy. You've seen some stuff. I seen some stuff too in my life too. You know what I'm saying? But I also been known to be called crazy, especially years ago. So I don't know, but I think I seen some stuff too. I can't say for sure. I'll tell you one thing in my house. I think there's definitely a ghost in my house. I'll tell you that for sure. I said this a couple times, especially on like my Facebook and stuff like that. And one of my dogs will not. Every time it goes, we gotta let him in and out and walk to like this little back area where like my washing machine and stuff is at, like my kitchen, then a washing machine, then like they call it like a mud room, and then that's where the back door is at. Every time this joke, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna record it and put it up. Every time this Joker has to go through there, he always stops and is scared to go by. Like I'm gonna record it so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm convinced that he's picking up on some other type of energy or something like that when he walks by there. Sometimes we literally gotta push this joker out past that part. And once he gets past that part, he's good. But he does a whole routine every time he comes to this part of my house. And this is an area right my kitchen area is where I seen a couple just recently. The dog's toenail clipper was missing. We looked all over the house for this thing for like 2 days. We looked everywhere we could possibly think of. Like we looked for this thing all over the place. Everywhere it could possibly be. Out of nowhere, yesterday it just pops up on the dresser in the living room. Like it just pops, it's just there all of a sudden. Like, how does this just come? That's only one of many things. There was a time like 2 years ago, I think it was, when balls of cotton kept showing up in my kitchen. Balls of cotton, pure clean white cotton. Balls of, out of nowhere. I looked at everything I possibly I have no clue where this shit was coming from. I'm like, could it be a mouse or any type of. But it was showing up on places where a mouse couldn't get or be, and it was pure white, clean cotton kept showing up. And I was like, where the? Another time, I had a safety pin on this little dresser thing. It was like in like a toenail clipper or something cut and it was like placed there, but it was like it showed like a heart, but the only way it showed it was like a reflection thing that would have gotten there by like I don't. It's just and that's just a couple things. So many sounds and stuff we hear. This is an old house. This is like a house built in the early 1900s, Pennsylvania, because I think on the paperwork it says it was built in 1910 or something like that. But in Pennsylvania, I don't know about everywhere else in America, but in Pennsylvania, if you see that a house was built and it says the year 1910, that really means that they don't know when the house was built. So anytime you see a house that's built 1910, that means they don't know when it was built. They just put that as a reference number, 1910. They could have been built anytime. Also, under my house, there's this back area. um, I believe like technically what it was used for was they used to put coal like and dump coal down there to the basement like years ago before they had like heat and stuff like that, like regular piping and stuff like that. But it's like this dome thing under my basement, and it just looks weird to me. It's always been creepy ever since I came here. I don't know. There's probably everything reptilian living in my house, man. To tell you the truth, shape shifting and probably all that type of stuff. And I'm already like a paranoid person anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I always been the kind of person when I go in certain rooms or if I'm doing something weird, I will go like this to all directions of the thing. But I be feeling like people were watching me. So I be like, you know what? If somebody is watching me, let me just throw my middle finger up just so you know I don't give a fuck. And watch me do whatever it is I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. Guess you can call it paranoia. I'm paranoid, whatever the case may be, but that's what it is, man. So yeah, I don't know, man. I thought this was interesting the way he was telling it because I do believe that he definitely was not lying about this. He definitely believes he's seen this. I'm talking about big homie CC. He believes he's seen this thing, and I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was somebody dressed up in costume, then he said, but he said they shape shift right into a regular girl though. You know what I mean? Never knows. Ever searched the house. That's one thing I never did a real extensive search of this house besides what you can just find on a quick search. I never really tried to look into it. 'Cause in my basement, there's these creepy pools down there that was there. They're still down there. I left them there. I don't know what the hell they're for. They're these long ass sticks, like these super long. I don't know what they're for. You know what I'm saying? There's probably about like 4 or 5 of them or something like that. Oh, another thing, one time what was it? It was like a little ashtray that was down there. It must have been there since who knows how long with some ashes. But I came down there one day. There was like this little porno book. There was like a little cartoon thing when I first moved in this house. Like out of nowhere, this little book. It was like a little tiny, like a miniature comic book type thing. It just appeared out of nowhere one time. I was just down there doing stuff. The next time I went down there, this thing was sitting there, and it was like an ashtray with some old ass cigarettes in it. There's a couple weird things have happened since I've been living in this house, man. I've been here like 5.5 years at this point. There's been a couple weird things that went on in this house, man. You know how people be saying that they loved ones be like, "Oh, please watch down on me," and if your parents die or something like that. People be hoping that I don't want nobody watching down on me and some of the stuff I be doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't need none of my ancestors looking down on me, watching me, looking out for me. 'Cause I don't. They don't need to be seeing some of this shit, especially before, like not now, but I don't need them watching and looking at the stuff I was doing, the stuff I was into. You know what I'm saying? I was into some creepy shit at one point in my life, but I don't need nobody looking down on me, witnessing none of that shit. So if any of my ancestors watching me, I'm not going where they are anyway. If they are watching me, so I'm not even gonna see them again anyway. They probably like, yeah, he don't need to come here with us because he was on some other stuff. So I won't. I'll be on the other side of them, and hopefully they can't and see and wasn't watching nothing I was doing. They're gonna be like, this boy's out of his damn mind. We don't need his kind up here with us. So yeah, everybody be like, watch down over me to they dead dad or dead mom. I don't need nobody watching over me. Don't look down on me because I'm creepy. I have done creepy things. You know what I'm saying? Creepy things. I don't need nobody watching down on that. But yeah, man, I want to talk about this. Deontay. I mean, what's the Joker's name? Adrian Broner. But I'm gonna do it on a different video. Joker. All that shit he was talking got his teeth knocked out. I'm about to get up out of here. This one here is already flagged anyway because I did it the first time and restarted it. It already was money sign was already yellow. So for whatever reason, I think because I have the word this picture of this reptilian on the thumbnail probably. I ain't even put nothing on the title for it to really be flagged for real, for real. Of course, little Joker, everything I do, they be up. You know what I'm saying, trying to mess with me and knock my stuff out the box and whatever it is. That's about it. Much love to everybody that came through. Kyra knows. Much love to you as always, Taurus. There was one or two other people up in here. Mr. Sir, JMJ, JMGTOW. The Joker came here asking me about Big Al, Mr. Sir, Big Al conspiracy. Like, I don't really, that was mad random. Big L. That's about it, though, man. Be out of the way, these jokers do what you gotta do.